Hey, this is my ultimate tips guide on how to win at PUBG. The reason it's ultimate is because I'm going over all of my own tips. I'm using my own tips to win this game. So I'm just going to walk through what I did, what I'm thinking. These buildings here, I'm in Georgia Pool. These are the best buildings to loot. Not the apartments that I'm looking at, but these buildings in the back, and there's a few in the front. We just call them the duplexes. And in front of these apartment buildings, they are more duplex shaped. Anyways, we had driven over here with the Doom Buggy. The Doom Buggy's behind us. We'd heard gunshots inside the apartment building, and we just stopped and waited. And sure enough, here come the guys, and we wanted to ambush them. Sometimes the best way to get, a lot of loot is just to hunt people down and take them out. So I'm kind of getting into position, trying to figure out where they're going, and this guy doubles back, and he obviously heard us. That was kind of a bad spot for me. I didn't have a lot of cover. Thankfully, I was able to get the headshot on him. Now, this particular guy. As you can see, I'm in and out of cover, trying not to get hit. What's crazy about that particular guy is the fact that he was just walking out in the open. He wasn't using cover, and I never, unless I just have to do that, you won't see me do that. So we're going to kind of move over here, maybe try to flank him. We're not exactly sure where he's going. I did kind of spot his little head sticking out between the buildings. We weren't sure if we like our cover right here. But you always have to assume that they are going to try and flank you. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run over here and make sure he's not trying to flank us at the same time, because his buddy died. Now he has no reason to keep on playing. He wants to at least kill one or maybe both of us and restart. So we have to be very careful of this guy right now. I found him. It's hard using the 4X on an AKM, but I think I ended up finding an M4, so I put the 4K on the M4. I prefer to have a silencer on that, but that doesn't always have one. And then I'm going to have the AKM, and if I can put a 2X on the AKM, that's my other favorite thing to do. I just like that little weapon combination because I can snipe, fairly decent with the M4, and I can put a lot of shots and hits on someone very quickly. So that's one of the reasons I like it. The reason I'm driving around in a circle here is I wanted to see where this next circle was going to land. So here it is. We tagged dead center. I always leave my guns on full auto. I was going to park here, and then we were going to run to these buildings, and we heard this guy come up. Here's where I leave my guns in full auto. So, I love hipfire. I use it all the time. If you haven't seen some of my other hipfire videos, man, I love hipfire. I love using the third-person aiming. If you're going to play a third-person perspective, you need to use third-person aiming a lot and hipfire a lot. Just get used to it. Do it as much as you can. I win a lot of my battles just using hipfire and third-person aiming. So what we're doing is we're just kind of hanging out here. We need to, we wanted a little bit more loot. Because we'd gotten into the firefight on with those other guys. We didn't have exactly everything we wanted. But now that the circle has moved again, I'm just kind of scouting the area, and I see this crate. So take out the one guy. And the reason I finished him off is I didn't think I'd get the second guy. But I ended up getting him too. So we ran up there, and I threw a smoke, and I was going to loot those guys because I knew they had crate weapons. But it looks like they'd already been in a firefight because there were extra crates there. As soon as I laid down to try and get their stuff, I started taking shots. So instead of trying to loot them, I just said, you know what, let's just get out of here. And I waited, and sure enough, the guy was trying to flank us. So I get that knock there. I know he has a partner, but this is interesting right here. The partner starts taking fire from someone else on the other side of the hill. And I know they all have to get pushed this way, So I opt, because I don't want to lose my kill, so I just threw that grenade, and I said, let's get out of here. They're going to have to come this way anyways. Let them fight it out. You know, we're getting close to the top 20. I would rather, in some of my other videos, I've talked about positioning yourself inside the circle, the safe zone, and letting other people get pushed to you when they're very vulnerable. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. And I'm just going to wait, because I don't know, you know, if there's 2 guys coming this way or 1 guy. But I know that somebody could be coming up behind me. So that's what I'm doing. We're just waiting. We're watching. But I'm also scanning the area to make sure that this is a relatively safe area. Especially with these being the last few buildings inside the safe zone. You know, this is structure. You know, it's kind of like bass. You know, bass-like structure. People-like structure. It gives us cover. It gives us a little bit of safety. But there always could be someone hiding in that safety area. And sure enough, here comes that guy. I knew he would. But he made a huge mistake right here. He just lays down thinking that we can't see him. So I don't know. You know, if I was that guy, he was in such a bad position. You know, sometimes it just happens. You get yourself, you're too late to the party. You know, you just, I don't know. I don't know. If I was that guy, I'm trying to think of, like, what would I have done? But that's exactly the reason I didn't stay up there. I didn't want that to happen to me. You know, I'm always trying to think a few steps ahead. Now, I did know that I was out of my vest was just about beat up. I hated going up here because my whole back was vulnerable, but I really needed a vest. I figured maybe I could just grab it as fast as I could. Cool Breeze was trying to tell me, don't do it, don't do it. But I was able to get a little ammo, got that guy's vest. Because the reason I knew I could probably get that vest, and it should be okay, is when he laid down, he was facing me with his head, and more than likely I was going to get a headshot, and hopefully his armor would be somewhat intact. So I've gone from a level 3 vest to a level 2, now I'm down to a level 1. So what I'm doing here, I've seen people where they get in a safe zone and they'll just you know, hide in a corner. They'll just lay down in a bush. They'll do something. And I used to do that as well. But you know that when you come out of that hiding spot, you don't know if there's going to be someone around the corner. So my whole purpose here is I'm scanning the entire area. I want to know what's to the left, what's to the right. Can I go forward? Is there anyone I can pick off? Am I safe? And so now, if you haven't watched my other video on how I do my circle entries, I'm doing a zigzag pattern. So I go a little bit to the right, or a little bit to the left, back to the right, just to scan the area and make sure that I'm safe and no one's going to come up behind me. Because that's where you're the most vulnerable. It's the guy who's next to you that you didn't know was there. So now that I've scanned the left, I'm interested in the right. I know we just came that area, but you just never know, and you can't always be safe. So, what I'm looking there, I'm just checking the map and seeing where do I want to go to next. Where's the safest spot? And I saw that little retainer wall, and that little retainer wall would make a great hiding spot so for me to lay down and stay safe. So I'm doing my zigzag. I've come back to the right. I'm going to check the left one last time. I don't want to get flanked. And I'm just going to slowly move up to where I want to be. I'm going to jump in these bushes. This is great. I can get the bush. I've got the retainer wall. This is a great little hiding spot. So, you know, there's those times when you want to just go ahead and jump into the circle, and there's other times where you want the circle to kind of push you. I'm on the slow side of the moving circle, the little pinch point, if you can see on the mini-map down there. So, in a moment, I'm just going to let the circle push me. That way I know no one's going to be able to come up behind me. Another thing I'm doing, when I get up to the next retainer wall, I don't just stop in this first bush. I've had people do stuff like that to me, but I go ahead and move to the next few bushes. That way my partner, he doesn't have to like go around me, and we don't have to do a whole lot of extra moving that's not necessary. So you got to think of things like that. Think in advance. Think about your partner. You don't want him exposed too long. So I did want to go ahead and finish that guy off. And I didn't want any chance of his partner coming, rescuing him, and then noticing where we're at. Now, I know I did take some shots without a silencer. I'm in the top 10. I usually say don't shoot inside the top 10. But I'm so far away from everybody, and I'm feeling pretty safe that I just wanted to take that that chance. So as soon as I start getting hit, I know that someone sees me. I've shot maybe a little too much. Also, it's time to get back to full health. You know, one of my biggest tips is stay at full health. I see people run around with half health or at 75 health. You know, use those energy drinks to get you to 100%. Use the painkillers when you're in the top, 10 to keep you at 100% as fast as possible, as long as you can. So I'm not doing my zigzag pattern now because I knew there was a guy over here and I knew there was a guy to the right. I saw the guy to the left, but I didn't see the guy to the right. So I'm going to use my half circle entry to get in the rest of the circle. I like the fact that I had a few heals so I could run up on and get behind enemies. Sure enough, that guy already died. I get the guy who killed him. And now I control the top of the hill. And I know I'm fairly safe to the right. There should only be guys to my left. The funny thing is, I jump. I never jump. I'm not one of those people who jump to get out of, to keep from getting hit. But I did that by mistake. But anyways, when I spot this guy, I don't know. I was kind of freaking out. It was just one-on-one. And I was asking Cool Breeze, did I need to come over there and save him? But I thought, you know what? I just need to take this guy out. I don't think he saw where I was at. In just a moment, you're going to see me take a shot to the left of the tree. It may seem like a random shot, but it wasn't. Right here. That single shot, I was trying to use that to trick him into thinking that he wasn't safe and get him to run back. He played into that trap perfectly, came back, I was able to get the kill, get the chicken dinner. If you're looking for some other videos on me teaching stuff, the one I would probably suggest the most is my hip fire video. I get a lot of flack for that one, people just saying it's random commentary with me killing people. If you can master the hip fire, then you're going to win a lot more chicken dinners. Anyways, I hope some of these tips helped you guys out. See you in the next video.